This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Top of the heap, running the state, taking time out from running the state and doing it.
Yes.
Roger Cook,
Roger.
the
Good
Premier.
Hey, Roger.
It's been a while.
Roger.
Yeah, no, it has. What's been going on? I guess we had the winter break, where
Yeah.
politicians flee to, warmer parts of the
where
world.
did you go?
I went to Broome.
Oh, nice.
But then I caught that Broome to Singapore flight. I don't know if you've heard about this.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So you can fly direct from Broome to Singapore.
Yeah.
It's
And vice versa, presumably, bringing Singaporean.
Yeah, bringing Singaporeans into Broome. It's a great flight. You're in Singapore in about 2.5 hours.
Oh, wow.
It's and so we went up to Broome for a couple of nights. That was lovely. Jumped on the Singapore flight and then 4 nights in Singapore. And then home.
Delightful.
Wow.
Can you do this? Are you gearing up the Busselton airport to do the same, to fly
Yeah.
to Singapore?
Well, that's our ambition. We do need to upgrade that airport significantly, though,
Yeah.
both for volume but also to make sure that it's good for international travel.
Yes.
But can you imagine, Singaporeans, there's nothing they love more than cold weather, right?
This is true.
So they would fly direct from Singapore and they would have a glass of, a lovely glass of Pinot in their hands by the evening. And
Yeah.
you could see that'd be really attractive for them.
Wow.
Great for that
Amazing.
region. Great
Hey,
for that region.
Talking about breaks, so I read something really interesting this morning, and it's about one of your MPs, Magenta Marshall, who took Rockingham's
Yeah.
seat.
Yeah.
Anyway, she had a baby. And
Gorgeous
she's
little baby,
Six weeks off, and that's all, and she's back to it.
Yeah.
I never knew this, Roger, but apparently, according to this article, WMPs do not get maternity leave. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. But we don't get holidays as such.
That's
We
crazy.
have to turn up for Parliament, but ultimately our bosses are the people.
Yes. So I'm
So
sorry,
if you don't turn up
you've
to
been
work, people go,
elected.
hang on, you're
Yes,
missing
we
in
elected
action.
you.
Yeah.
Is that not crazy?
Sorry, you don't get maternity
No.
leave.
No.
No,
That
no,
seems
you
to
don't
be-
get any leave at all.
No,
in the
but you're
story-
able to take a break.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
She's having a holiday is very different to having a baby
Yeah.
and then requiring maternity leave.
That's
Yeah,
got to
so-
change,
Yeah,
Roger.
that seems
Well,
a bit
it's-
arcane, and it would be a bit of a barrier to younger women seeking out election.
in the
wouldn't you think?
article,
I remember during the by-election,
yeah.
this is the only thing
Yeah.
the Liberal Party actually got right. They said, she's a young woman, she'll just go off and have a baby. They were right on that point. Yeah.
But in the article, it was saying there was only a handful of women who had ever done it, I think,
Yes.
since 1988, and that was Yvonne Henderson.
Yvonne Henderson,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, no worries. And
But
then,
that's why.
I'm pretty sure Deputy Premier Rita Saffioti did that as well, and had kids while she
no
was
maternity leave.
So I know you work for the people, which is all of us
Yep,
in this room
yep.
at this
Yeah.
point
But
in
you
time.
still
But I
got
think the
rights.
people would still be on your side.
But,
if you bought in.
but then again, I'm thinking devil's advocate, right?
Yeah.
So I've elected you, Sean.
Yeah.
I believe in what you're doing. I believe in what you're going to do for my electorate.
Got him again.
And then you're off for 12 months.
Yeah.
I didn't vote
Yeah.
for the person that's coming in doing this
But
thing.
it's going to be a major
Yeah.
barrier to women of childbearing age going
And this
into
is the
politics.
stuff we're confronting in Parliament
Yeah.
too now, because Parliament's set up for old men
Yes.
to go and hang out there in the evening after
Yeah.
they've worked on the terrace, right? So we're having to change the whole culture, the whole
Yeah.
shape,
Yeah.
and the facilities at Parliament House
Yes.
to make it more suitable for particularly women,
Do
but
other
also
states have
young
maternity
parents. Look, I think they're all working pretty much on the same basis that we have. That is, our bosses are the people of that elect us, and therefore we have to be around when,
Yep.
I guess, politically it's expected for
Well,
us to
I'm
be
one
around.
of the people, and I say I think the ladies should be able to get pregnant and go on maternity leave.
Yeah, I mean, at least more than 6 weeks.
Yeah,
Because I
well-
think it would be best
All
for
right,
everybody.
7.
Yeah.
And look, Magenta's a fantastic
Yeah,
member.
clearly,
She
she's
works
amazing.
really hard. She is a real prospect for us as she
Has
starts
the
to
name of a
mature.
superhero,
Yes,
Magenta Marshall.
That's true.
That's it.
That's always important.
Yeah, it is.
Premier, we've seen the announcement Rita Saffioti did over the free travel to Rottnest this weekend.
Yeah.
The weather's going to be
So
absolutely
why
perfect.
this weekend? What was the...
Well, it's actually the Quokker's birthday this weekend. The Quokers are like racehorses. They all have one birthday each year. And for the purposes of managing the, all the Quokers across
festivities,
Rottnest,
yes.
they say, right, this point is the point in time where it's every Quokker's birthday.
Do we
we're
know who the
celebrating
elder
that.
quacker is? Have we found out on the island who the oldest of all the
The
quackers is, so we
matriarch of the-
can honour that quacker directly?
Well, I'm not sure they've got that sort of intimate detail.
I think if you climbed Oliver Hill right up near the where the lighthouse
on a
is,
crowd, on a
he would
throne.
be up there.
Have you heard on a throne, Sean?
There's some sort of temple up there where there's this old Quokker hanging
Can't
out.
get up there, I tell you.
Oracle of all the quackers. Does the Crocker's birthday always coincidentally fall on a weekend, Roger?
I'm not sure.
I don't know, it just is a little bit
It works
soft
well.
to me.
But look, it's wonderful that they're celebrating, certainly, one of our most iconic marsupials,
Yeah.
but also it's an opportunity to continue to promote Rottnest.
Yeah.
It's one of our great tourism destinations.
amazing we have
People
that.
come from overseas. They say,
yeah, it's
well, I
amazing.
can get on a
And
boat
clockers.
in 40 minutes and be in this sort of like,
Yes.
coastal paradise.
Yeah, but
which
it's
is
not
Rottnest.
cheap to take the whole family. So this is how does this work if people want to go over this weekend?
Well, what we're doing is trying to, this is another opportunity to activate the island over the winter months,
Yep.
but it's also an opportunity just to provide that chance for people to go over there who would otherwise not be able to afford it. It's like our
You're taking
spring
schools over there too, sorry, haven't you?
we subsidise the schools quite
Yep.
a lot to make sure that, particularly kids from inner suburban
Yeah.
schools who would tend not to be able to go to Rotto and have that experience, we want to get them across as well. This is like our free passes to the zoo. It's an
Yeah.
opportunity
Yeah.
for people who would otherwise not be able to afford these things to be able to get out there and have an affordable day with their family.
I tell you what, we scored the lottery with the quokka, didn't we? Think about it, right?
I
No
know.
one else has it. It's
No.
just ours. Is there anyone else in the world? I think there might be
No.
one of... No?
Oh, there's a small
Colony here.
on mainland
From the
WA,
ones-
but that's it.
Because if a quokka leaves, they can't go back.
Yeah.
The
They
happiest
survive up.
marsupial in the world.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they are smiley, they are adorable, they love taking selfies.
Yeah.
Like, how
They're
do we get...
photogenic.
Like, everyone in the world would want this.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the Eastern States haven't
And
come
they-
over here to the pitch at night and just bagged them all up and taken them.
But I've got to say, it's taken a while, and it's only been the recent government really who's leaned into the quokka more
Yes.
so than what we've done in the past.
Yeah.
We've just left Rottnest to its...
Yeah, putting
own
it back
device.
over
Smiling little
Yeah.
happy marsupials that are taking
Putting it
photos.
back over
Because
Roger
Rottnest has
Federer's
always
head.
been that place. We go, no, we don't want you to touch it.
Yeah,
I
that's
remember when I
true.
was a kid, just leave it the way it is.
Yep.
Well, that's not the way tourism operates
Yeah.
anymore. We need to provide a product which people can feel proud of and they feel they're getting value for money.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Roger, I wanted to ask you about the state government putting $27 million into the East Fremantle development, and then
Sounds
the
like a dog with a bone
council
with this thing.
hijacked the situation, and the Sharks haven't had a place for 3 years, right?
Yeah.
You've stepped in. How did we get to a stage where the government, in good faith, gives over a whole lot of money for the community and football clubs and the bowling
And then
rink
it
and all that
happens.
kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and we get in a situation where you've got to come in?
Yeah, look, I think it's somewhere along the line, people lost their way on this particular project. What we've done is spent some money so that we could convert the old, Sharks football ground into a modern, multi-purpose facility. But for some reason, we've sort of lost our way a bit on the way, and the Sharks are now in a situation where they can't actually put up their signs, they can't put up their sponsorships.
They can't make any money.
They can't make any money on
They
the
can't
day.
charge for a ticket.
And so it
They
all
can't sell a
becomes
drink.
unsustainable, right? So
Yeah.
it's
Unsustainable.
So what happens though?
well, so basically, we've got the department in there working with both sides to get a better solution. You don't invest tens of millions of dollars to actually set up
How did it
something
get
that's
to this
been
point?
set up to fail.
Yeah, I know councils, we read about it a lot. People have
Yeah.
issues with councils left, right and centre. How are they lauding to their own?
Well, look, they've got a bunch of stakeholders, so I guess they're
Yes.
trying to find their way through this and get a balance. They haven't got the balance right. And we think the club needs to be able to derive some form of income either on match day or, just through the ongoing recognition of their sponsors. They need to have a big sign up there saying this is the home of the Sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
With teeth.
with teeth.
Instead of using a gummy
And
shark.
of course, of course, we need to have an opportunity for the community to share that space as well.
course.
So we've got to get the balance right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk about something else
about
which has
common
been
sense.
a hot point in Perth, especially with a lot of people that have been waiting for their houses to be built, niche
Yeah.
living.
Yeah.
So we've been following what's happening in niche living. So the government stepped in because niche living weren't allowed to build. The government stepped in and then all those people were like going, oh, great, we're going to get a payout soon, it's going to be taken care of. Government stepped in and said, no, niche living, you can now build. Then last night on the news, it was unbelievable. Channel 7 were outside, right, of the only house that niche living is working on at the moment since they got the licence back, and that is the wife of the owner of niche living's home.
Yeah, that's a disgrace.
That is disgusting.
It is a complete disgrace.
And so this is Barbara. She's one of the homeowners. This is her on the news last night.
We constantly ask each other, has anybody had any work start? Has there been any news? And no, we haven't received anything.
That's because they're at Ronnie's wife's house doing
Yeah.
her multi-million
So when
dollar
you've
property.
given concessions to a company like this, and you did, you stepped in and said, okay, we will allow you to hold your licence so that you can, and then that happens. What's your recourse? How can you pull them into line?
Well, we've taken their licence off them.
Yeah.
We've had a close look at them. They're not financially sound,
Yes.
and therefore we're not going to pour money into them if all it's going to happen is the creditors take that money back
Yes.
off the company. So what we've done is said, look, you're no longer competent to be a builder, taking the registration off them. What that then allows their customers to do is to get a payout from our WA-backed insurance arrangement so that they can then finish off their homes. So what Niche has done in the meantime says, we're going to appeal that decision.
Yeah.
We're still not going to build those people's homes,
Yes.
but we're going to try a little legal tactic in the State Administrative Tribunal. It is completely cynical. It means that those people don't get their homes
Yes. So they're neither getting a payout nor getting it built. Yeah.
So we're looking at all the options available to us. But when I saw that footage last night on the television, where you see
must have been
builders
furious.
on site, by the way, I don't think they can be niche builders because we've taken their licence off them.
Because the builders are there, they're yelling out, "What are you doing here, mate?" And they said, "We're just here to get paid."
Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
I don't
just
blame the
trained
builders.
doing
I don't
their
blame the
job,
builders.
Of course you
But the
don't.
leadership of Niche, how tone deaf can you be? It's
Dude.
disgusting.
What's the advantage? So they get unregistered. How long are they? The state government unregistered them as builders, right? So how long would they have to stay out of it versus them appealing it, which allows them to keep their licence? Because they've got no money.
Yeah, so they're going to appeal it. Hopefully we'll get a hearing in the next month or so, but it's going to take longer. And I just want to get these people with a roof over their head.
Imagine what they're going through, Roger.
They've paid money.
Yes.
In
They're out
good
of pocket
faith,
and they're having to
they're
rent somewhere and they're
literally
taking
waiting
up
years.
rentals.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
Yeah, Ronnie.
Absolutely
Well,
outrageous.
and he's got his you're working at the White House is the only house you're working on. Who are you speaking to before you're making these decisions?
Well, you can't really go out and. Well, what do? You go out and run. You can't go out to 1,000 people and. You just don't have the services. People are going to work for you in the first place.
But the first house you get built, you do is, okay, who's been waiting the longest of our clients that we owe houses to?
Or what's
and you
closest
send
to
the
them.
I don't
builders
think you can do
there.
it. Who's
Well, you
running the
don't. Well,
longest?
you don't have it at your wife's house. That's not the answer.
That's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah.
It's absolutely tone deaf. I can't believe they're doing it, and it's disgusting.
Yeah. All
We've
right.
discussed some real good stuff today.
Yeah, we've been really...
We've been great. We've been informative. We've been a real show.
Well, it is 6 months out from the state election, so I guess we're going to be seeing a bit more of you.
Busy times coming up. And obviously, we want to let the people of Western Australia know our economy's strong. We've got to keep it strong.
Yep.
We're the people to keep it that way.
All right.
No worries, Rog.
Thanks,
Good on you,
Cookie.
mate. Thanks for your
Thanks
time.
for being here.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.